using this template that we made earlier, I traced it onto a piece of Ava foam. I marked where the shoulder actually meets near the neck, so you can remember to fold that upwards. Now once you have your piece all sanded down, I have it labeled which side is the front and the back, but that's just whatever. I'm going to use a heat gun and bend this upwards like that. So I'm just going to heat this, and this will be going in the direction of my thumb. So it's going to bend like that, but it's kind of hard to do right now, so I'll cut back. Now to hook the straps onto this armor, I'm going to do it right where the curve begins and it starts to go up, because that's where the strap on the shoulder is, so it'll reach it. So I put the straps here and then another one on in the equal spot to the right of it. It'll reach onto the other strap and be able to loop through. But to glue these on, what you're going to want to do is first take an X-Acto knife and rough up the area where you are going to glue them on. And then you're going to take either hot glue, or I'm going to start off with some barge contact cement, and I'm going to glue them on to the rough spots. And then when that's all over, I'm going to take some hot glue and glue around that just for support's sake, and then I'm going to do that with the other pad as well. Cut, hold on, hold. Use a Dremel, not an X-Acto knife. Use a Dremel, not an X-Acto knife. Because I'm going to be fastening
I can't hear you.
This.
Like, what comic is that in?
Because I'm going to be fastening the shoulder armor to this, I'm going to use leather, wrap it underneath of this, and then loop it, and then glue the actual armor to the excess. I'm going to be having 2 on each side. To attach the shoulder pieces, what I did was take the strip I had made and looped it underneath of the shoulder strap. So right here, I had on the other side picked it up, pushed it underneath, and just looped it, and then glued it down whenever I found a necessary spot to put it. And make sure it doesn't run into your bicep piece, because then you won't be able to move so much. So make sure there's room between them, and you'll be able to move because it raises and lowers. So for the other side, I have these strips here, and I'm going to fold them underneath of the shoulder strap. So they're going to be like this. Preferably used with 2 hands. So that is a very, very rough estimate, but you fold it underneath like that, make it flat, and figure out the length you need by just pulling on that piece there. So you just pull it, and then you can adjust based on your other one, or just in general on how you want your shoulder piece to look. You said it was on. No, I'm making a new video. Go. As you can see, there's tinfoil on the bottom and a little bit on the top and a little bit on the inside, because I wrapped the bicep and top shoulder piece in tinfoil and I covered it with duct tape. So now what I'm going to do is cut it up, probably on the inside right here. Draw a template. So after I had taped the duct tape onto the tinfoil on his shoulder. You can see this is a separate part. I drew a design, and it comes up just before his shoulder. I drew a dotted line to symbolize the cut. Made this little design here. I'm going to keep this piece, but I'm still going to cut it. So this says over because this piece will be over that. Just some little designs. And then on the inside, I made a similar cut. So right now what I'm going to do is follow the dotted line and I'm going to cut it out. Now with your piece cut out, you're going to want to bend it into a round shape with preferably a heat gun or high-powered hairdryer or some kind of heat that you can apply it to, and you're going to want to bend it and keep rounding it off so then it would eventually wrap around your shoulder. Next, we're going to go to our mannequin and or buddy that you can hold this onto. And I have only one hand, but imagine that closed. We're going to first round off the edges with a Dremel, and then with this closed, I'm going to seal that with barge cement, so you will be able to slide this on and off of your arm, and then I will attach a buckle on top of that, or underneath it, or wherever, and that will attach to the next shoulder piece that I am going to make. Once you have all of the nice edges you are looking for, well, next you can take either some barge cement, contact cement, or this is not barge, this is DAP wellwood, but barge cement, DAP wellwood, kind of same idea. Or you could take a hot glue gun and do this same exact process. But if you do use contact cement, I would recommend following the rules for it because it won't work if you don't follow the rules. So you have to, I'm going to put it on this edge right here and then this edge right here. And then you'll wait 15 minutes or so and then slowly stick them together. So this is the product after the barge cement is hooked onto it. Nice and even. There's a little bit of a excess up here which we can cut off and sand down. That's no big deal. And the barge didn't connect 100% fully, so we're going to go inside here and reinforce this with some hot glue. So Connor's going to do that. You can just keep kind of pushing on it, making sure that the barge works. Just little hot glue. Okay. Now once your bicep armor is complete and it's on either your dummy or your friend or whatever, or if it's on yourself and you can see yourself in a mirror, whatever, you can decide how you want to add decals or things to it. I'm going to end up adding nice trim with craft foam around the edge, and then I'll see where I'm going to go from there. Might add a couple decals coming up here and then on the side, but we will see. That'd be just like how they'll meet up like in the middle, maybe put a piece down the middle, because the seam isn't too bad. I actually like how it turned out. Still got to fix that. Didn't ignore it, but I'm just going to do it later. So, yeah, I ignored it, whatever. But with the fashion of the other armor, I'm going to put a nice little trim along the edge. By using some thin craft foam, I added some trim to the tops of these bicep pieces. Now I'm going to add one to the bottom, and then see about adding a decal on the sides. Alright, so I ended up putting the decals on the outside of the armor, so when the dummy or the person is wearing it, they're facing you. So this would be facing this way over his shoulder, so you see the decal, and I'm going to paint them orange. But once you get all the stray glue off, what you're going to want to do is either get some art clay or quick seal and go over these tiny little cracks, just very little bits amount, and then even this part, very, very, very little bit of quick seal, and just rub it over top, and it'll just help seal the edge. So you're going to want to do that after you peel the glue off, and then you can start to paint. And this is the final product for the bicep armor. Yeah, okay, 3, 2, 1, go. So to start on the knee pads, just pads in general, you can get some knee pads is what I'm starting with. This is from Goodwill. We got them for like $1 each. And we're just painting the hard part of the knee pad a flat orange that we got from Michael's. And we're probably going to have to do multiple coats on this because this seems pretty thin. So just be cautious on the coats, basically. So you can get the full color. Yeah, I mean, you can have a faded orange like it is now. Like the look. Or you can make it, put more coats over top of it to make it a bright, bright orange. But it all depends. Yeah, it all depends on your personal preference, though. The forearm armor is actually a really quick part. I literally just took a soccer pad, or I don't even know if it was from soccer or whatever, and painted it orange. You could take any sports pad or whatever you really want, and just like I had done with the elbow, just take a sports pad, or if you want to make your own, you could, but I just took this and snapped it on.